These two men started with the exact same salary, same job, same paycheck for 40 years. But one of them retired with over $500,000, and the other retired with almost nothing. They earned the same money their entire lives. So how did their endings turn out so differently? It all came down to one quiet habit. Meet Tom and Jack. They started at the very same company on the very same day. Same desks, same boss, the same paycheck landing in their accounts every month. They were both 25, full of dreams, and equally broke. If you looked at them back then, you'd never guess their lives would end up worlds apart. Then came their first real paycheck, and this is where their paths quietly split. Jack looked at his money and thought, "I've earned this. I deserve to enjoy it now." Tom looked at the same money and asked a different question. "How do I make this work for me later?" So Tom made a tiny decision. Every single month, before spending a cent, he set aside just $200 and put it into a simple index fund. Not exciting, not dramatic. $200 a month, quietly, automatically. He barely even felt it leave his account. Jack, meanwhile, was living the good life. New phone every year, dinners out, weekend trips, the latest gadgets. And every time he got a raise, his spending grew right along with it. He always assumed he'd start saving later, once he earned a little more. But later never quite arrived. And it wasn't always easy for Tom either. There were nights he stared at his account and thought, "Why am I doing this? Jack is out having fun, and I'm sitting here saving pennies." He was tempted many times to just quit and spend it all, but he didn't. He trusted the boring plan and kept going. 10 years passed. Tom had put in about $24,000 of his own money, but his account? Around $35,000. The extra had appeared on its own. His money had started quietly earning money. Small, but the engine had switched on. By year 20, something powerful was happening. Tom had saved around $48,000 of his own, but his account had grown to over $100,000. The growth itself was now growing. Think of a snowball rolling downhill. The bigger it gets, the more snow it picks up, faster and faster. That's compound interest, and time was its fuel. 30 years in, Tom had personally saved about $72,000. His account now? Nearly $245,000. He'd put in 72, and time had added the rest. He was doing nothing different, just the same $200 every month, like clockwork. 40 years later, Tom opened his account for the last time before retiring. Over $500,000. And here's the wild part. He had only ever put in about $96,000 of his own money. The other $400,000? Built by time and patience, while he simply lived his life. And Jack? At 50, he finally got scared and tried to catch up. But now, to reach the same $500,000 by retirement, he'd have to save not $200, but around $1,600 a month. 8 times more because he'd lost the one thing Tom never wasted: time. Starting late didn't just cost him money. It cost him the years that do the heavy lifting. So here's the truth. It was never about earning more. Tom and Jack made the exact same money. The difference was starting early and staying consistent, and letting time do what time does best. You don't need to be rich to start. You need to start to become rich. And the best day to begin was years ago. The second best day is today. Small choices today quietly build the life you'll live tomorrow. If this story made you think, subscribe. One short money story like this every single week. Your future self is watching.